So I was reading this article, and it was about a study, and there's been a few studies, that shows that we will defer to the social default when making decisions, even if we don't know we're doing it. And it got me thinking about how clothes in the age of Instagram is the perfect case study of this. That if we think about it, that we follow our friends and influencers, and then all of a sudden our feeds are filled with the same trend of dad sneakers or fanny packs or a leopard print midi skirt. And then maybe even those same items then follow us around the web in the form of advertisements that are targeted to us from stores where we can one click and buy it. And this creates an enormous pressure and desire in us to think that we should and that we want whatever this is. And most of the time, the way this goes is that we're unhappy that we don't have the thing that everyone has, and then we get it, we're happy about it for a very limited time, and then we don't even care anymore. We don't wear the piece or love the piece a year later, maybe even a month later. And this chain of reactions of feeling bad, feeling a hit of good, and then feeling bad or wasting the object happens because instead of making the correct decision for us, we referred to the social default, what we thought everyone else was doing and what we were given the appearance that everyone else had. And that research shows that we will do it because we think that everyone else is doing it, subconsciously or consciously, that we will make worse decisions, we'll buy a worse product, a worse made product, a product that's less of a fit for us. Maybe we end up paying a crazy amount of shipping because it comes from a different country or something, because of that bias in ourselves as humans that we want to go with the herd and do what that social default is. So how do we stop that? That's what I wanted to give you in this video, is how do we shop more consciously, more intentionally, and stop buying things that we think we want and think we need, and instead buy things that we will truly love. I have a few ideas. I'm going to share them with you. So the first is to wait. Add time. That when you feel the urgency of, I want this immediately, I want it right now, where can I find it? I'm instantly going to go on Google and try to find it. When you feel that sudden urgency of something you didn't even know you wanted, you all of a sudden feel like you need it now, wait. I would say you should wait until it doesn't feel urgent, until it feels like whatever, that there's no urgency. It's just, oh, I still would really like this. Maybe that's waiting 2 weeks or a month, but add that time, add that space, add that breathing room so that we're not swept up in that urgency. And a lot of the time, just adding the time instead of immediately buying something once we've seen it and are reacting to it is enough to shop a lot more purposefully. And I'll also add that, just a reminder that this sense of urgency we get, unless it's like your backpack that you use every day to carry your laptop broke and now you have nothing to carry your laptop in, the urgency, that would be real urgency. But the urgency we get from browsing social media and then wanting that piece is a false sense of urgency. It's not really urgent. The second strategy is to make a list of everything you could wear instead of this thing you don't have yet. So for me, about a year ago, I felt that urgency that I wanted a suit. It was kind of something in the back of my mind that I'd wanted for a while, but all of a sudden they were everywhere. Everyone was wearing them. It was like the normal thing to wear to an industry event instead of a dress. It was way cooler and more trendy to wear a suit. And I recognized that, so I did that first step of I didn't buy one right away. I added time because I knew a suit is an investment piece and I wanted to make the correct decision for me. And it kind of came all at once, so I hadn't really budgeted for it. So I added time. I waited months and months. And while I was waiting for that time, I made a list of all these things that I felt like I needed to wear a suit to. I made a list of all the things I already had that I could wear instead. So that even though I wanted that cool girl dress down vibe with a suit, I could wear this gingham Reformation dress I have with like sneakers or with boots, and like it'd be the same thing. I could wear this gingham blazer I had with just a pair of black pants, and it's not quite a suit, but it's the same thing. I could wear this deep V-neck blouse I had with those high-waisted wide leg pants, and that would also be totally cool, totally my style for those events. So whenever you feel like you need this new piece, you can make a list to remind yourself of all the things you have now that you could wear instead, to help our brain from focusing on that thing we don't have and think we need, to focus on all the great things, all the enoughness that we already have in our closet. And the third is, don't make shopping decisions when you're fatigued, when you're stressed, when you feel rushed. All of these feelings and the stress on your decision-making system, research shows, leads to worse decisions that you wouldn't have made if your body was in a healthier spot. So what does this look like? Maybe shopping online at the end of a day is not a good idea when your decision-making power has been all used up from the work you've been doing all day and you actually don't have a good sense of that left. So maybe just wait until a few days later to press purchase on the cart. Maybe not to frantically fill up a shopping cart on a sale or a promotion that gives you this sense of urgency that you have to buy it now because it's on sale now only for a limited time, or that it's going to sell out, to just choose not to shop in that circumstance because you will make worse decisions. And that maybe if you're feeling stressed or sad or worried about a separate part of your life and you want to go shopping for enjoyment, for relief, for distraction, make adjustments for that. Recognize that you're not in the best state to make purposeful decisions with your money and the kind of resources you're investing in when you buy clothes. So maybe just adjust for that and only buy things that you can return for the next 30 days. And lastly, shift from a reactive way of shopping to a proactive way. Shift from what you see on your Instagram, on social media, what all your friends are wearing, to decide what you should wear, to starting with you and you deciding what you should wear. So what this looks like is like looking at your own closet, see what you're already drawn to, draw some conclusions about what you love the most as yourself, not as what other people are doing and you think you need to do. See what pieces you feel the best in your own closet and find out why. And know that you could buy more things that are like that. Also use your own closet to figure out where your gaps are, that you need a top to go with this skirt, or you need something to wear to this aspect of your lifestyle that you do every week. Find out where your gaps and your needs are. And also become your own muse, that think about what I'm most excited about, what I'm most drawn to, what I feel most beautiful in. What if I was on my own movie and book cover, what would I love myself to be wearing? Think of what lights you up independently of whatever the social default is right now. I want us to live in a world where we're each rocking our own style that truly lights us up and makes us feel expressed and seen. I want us to stop filling landfills with pieces that we never truly loved and only wore when they were trendy. And I really believe that it's only when we find our own style and wear something that truly feels expressive of us that we get to feel our best, that we get to feel that aliveness and power that personal style can bring. So that is what I hope these tips today will help you to reset and recalibrate and do in a world of being bombarded with pieces that everyone is wearing at the same time. And if this is our first time hanging out, by the way, my name is Rebecca Jacobs. I'm a style strategist and teacher. And if this isn't our first time hanging out, you probably know that I took a long hiatus from these videos. But where I am not taking a hiatus is over on Instagram. So I invite you to join me there, where I'm sharing shopping advice and others on the daily. You can find me at rebecca.jacobs, and I hope to talk to you soon. I'm trying them on now, And since it's time of year for shopping, I thought this might be helpful if I brought you along. If I wasn't prompted to get dressed differently,